Thank you. I've got nothing for you on that.
Watching yourself back then, reassuring people that Biden...
For many, many reasons.
No one is above the...
You are pardoned.
As I said, I got nothing for you on that. Nope.
Hey, it's me again. I'm back. Dude, could you imagine going on the Piers Morgan show and pretending to be like this super smart person, like this college educated, super smart person that calls everybody out for like not having credentials to talk about Hunter Biden's laptop and pretending that the Hunter Biden pardon is like something different and like Donald Trump is actually worse than Joe Biden because he gave Roger Stone and Steve Bannon and other people that he's friends with a pardon, and that's different. But you're really smart and everyone else is really dumb, and you shouldn't even be allowed to talk about this unless you have some sort of credentials. I don't know. I don't know if Destiny. So we're on Piers Morgan Uncensored. It's Destiny and Francesca. So it is about to be it's about to be real stupid. You're about to lose some brain cells. You're about to lose brain cells while being told you're dumb and they're smart. And you actually shouldn't even be allowed to talk about this because you don't have credentials to talk about this. Because you need credentials to talk about the most obvious things in the world. And Piers Morgan's response to them is just classic, just deadpan classic. All right, man. We're back in it. More pardon stuff because the Democrats will not learn their lessons. I'm here for it. I hope you're here for it. This one was a little wild. Hopefully, I don't make it go too long. But it is what it is, man. These people are insane. All right, I'm gonna make a basket for a couple seconds here. Let's see what the beginning of this is like. But this Francesca and Destiny are two of the most disingenuous, just the most lying. I mean, I just, dude, they don't have double standards. They have triple standards. I haven't seen standards like this. This shit is wild. And before we get started, I want to make it clear. Donald Trump didn't just pardon friends that Donald Trump pardoned people that helped him get elected. The people, Roger Stone and Steve Bannon and these other people that helped support Donald Trump and helped him get elected and helped him gain power, why wouldn't he pardon them? Again, we've already admitted, Joe Biden said in his pardon that the DOJ is corrupt and will go after their political opponents. And they did that versus Trump. But the Democrats can't say that. They can only say, well, they went after Hunter, but oh, they would never go after Trump. That didn't happen. It's like, what are you talking about? These are those double and triple standards I'm talking about. It's confusing. Their standards are confusing that I've added a layer. It's triple standards. It's confusing. I haven't even figured it out yet. We'll see what it even means. I don't know what it means, but it's very confusing. Let's see if we can go down this rabbit hole. But Donald Trump didn't just pardon friends that did a bunch of rich crimes. They helped him get elected, and whenever he got power, and those people were persecuted for helping support Donald Trump gain power, he then used that power to let those people out of the trouble they got in for helping him. They were investigated and looked into because they helped Donald Trump. Imagine if he gave his friends a 20-year pardon and they were like, whoa, he was a business partner with him. It's just like, that's what Joe Biden essentially did. He's been in business with his son this entire time, and he just essentially pardoned one of his business partners for the last 11 years of crimes known and unknown. But that's different than what Trump did. And Trump is worse. And you're stupid and they're smart because they have credentials to talk about Hunter's drug addiction. Dude, I don't know what credentials you need to talk about it, but Destiny makes it clear you need credentials to be on Piers Morgan show and to talk about the most obvious things in the world. And if you don't have those credentials, whatever they may be, then you shouldn't even be allowed to come on Piers Morgan show to even talk about stuff. You shouldn't even be allowed to make baskets and talk online, I bet he would say. We'll see. I need you to press the buttons. I need you to do the things. Because if you don't, then I don't know if I should keep making videos or not. What if I quit? Nah, that's okay. I won't ever quit.
Well, I had bad plastic surgery. Should have known this doctor was a quack. His office was in like a warehouse.
I see. Questions?
No, just please help me, doctor.
Usually easier to do these things right the first time, but... What, you seem dubious?
Huh? Oh, no, not at all. I mean, I hear you're the best, Dr. Maccabee.
Think we can figure something out here? Relax. Relax. That's relaxed? Okay, let me just pull it down for a sec. And I let go. Okay, shoots right back up.
I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry about what?
Oh my God!
What?
It's just,
Oh, wow.
that just really
Yeah.
went right up there.
That was hot. That was hot.
That's just. I'm sorry.
That's too much. Let me give you a hug. That's what you need first. All right, we'll fix this. We'll fix this.
But it's worse than that, because Joe Biden presented himself as the opposite of Donald Trump, who he called a liar, a hypocrite, a shameful opportunist. We all remember what he called Trump. And then, by pardoning his son and making him above the law and making him unaccountable to the law, Biden proved himself to be a liar, a hypocrite, and a shameless opportunist. I think I speak for both Democrats and Republicans when I say that January the 20th can't come soon enough. Well, join me now to discuss all this is the founder of the 1776 Project PAC, Ryan Gerdusky, the streamer Destiny, the co-host of Verdict with Ted Cruz, Ben Ferguson, and host of the Bituation podcast, Francesca Fiorentini. Well, welcome to all of you. Destiny, let me start with you. You got anything? Or are you taking a Chuck Schumer defense?
No, I think if a partner is going to exist as a presidential power, I think this is the perfect time to use it.
Really? Even when you've told the world repeatedly, I'm not going to do that, and that everyone should be beholden to the law.
I think the mistake, if Biden made a mistake, it was to say that he wasn't going to do it.
You think?
Especially after seeing the nomination of people like Kash Patel, I think it is absolutely in good prudence to use it here rather than allow Hunter Biden to be the subject of infinite investigations for the next 4 years of Trump's presidency.
So the first thing I want to ask you is, how much Adderall do you think Destiny takes a day? How much Adderall does he snort in a single day? Do you wonder? I don't know. I'm going to say the over-under is... See, I've never done Adderall, so I don't know the milligrams. I was going to give a... Well, I don't know how they come or what they're like or whatever. I don't know. I literally know nothing about Adderall. I've never taken Adderall in my entire life. So I have no idea. I don't see him as a cokehead. I think even though he's a rich trust fund baby, that might not be true. I said that not knowing anything about Destiny. So come for me, admonish me, be angry. I don't really give a shit. I don't really care. So in the end, I think Adderall would be his drug of choice. I think Adderall would probably be the way he goes, because then he could justify it and say that he's super busy and he's like, and he needs it to focus and he has ADHD and all the blanket diagnoses that every kid in the world gets at this point. So he gets to justify it and say, oh, anyway, I'm off on a tangent. Look how irritated and agitated he is. Watch Destiny's face this entire time. He got that jaw swinging. He got that Alex Jones crackhead jaw swing. He is so agitated because in this video, he has to pretend that the DOJ would go at, like, that it's corrupt enough to go after Hunter Biden for Trump, but the DOJ and the government couldn't go after Trump in a fraudulent way, but they're going to investigate Hunter Biden for the next couple of years in a fraudulent, wrong way. Why would they be investigating him, Destiny? What did he do again? What, something about a gun and taxes? Or is it something else that we don't want to talk about? I don't know. You tell me how he's able to justify, how these leftists are able to justify that they need to get Hunter Biden off the hook because Trump's DOJ and the government is going to come after him. But then also the government and the DOJ, it's not possible for them to go after someone like Donald Trump. That's not a thing. And Biden didn't have anything to do with it. What are you talking about? Do you have evidence of that? Are you educated? Do you have credentials to talk about this? What? Okay, just watch. You'll see.
You mean how the Liberals put Trump through all the criminal investigations?
Well, no, because Trump has criminal immunity from the Supreme Court and all of his federal court cases are now dismissed. And the case in New York never had a sentencing and probably won't get one. So, no, they wouldn't be the same thing.
You seem very phlegmatic about all this, Destiny, when inside you must be hurting. Because what Joe Biden has done with one flick of his pen is he has taken away all the high moral ground that the Democrats could have had against Trump for the next 4 years. Because Trump can now pardon who the hell he likes. He can pardon every January the 6th protester. And he can do it in the sure knowledge that the moment people like you go, this is an outrage, how can you do this? He goes, you know what? At least they went to prison. Hunter Biden didn't do a day.
This is the two of the easiest questions in the world. Pierce, one, if he doesn't pardon Hunter, do you think that influences Trump's decisions at all and who he pardons next?
That wasn't what I said. I said it removes your ability.
Absolutely
No, Destiny.
Number two.
It removes.
Number two.
Hang on. Let me answer number one first.
What have Democrats gotten for the moral
Come to number
high ground
two
for the last
second.
4 years?
Let me answer number one first. In answer to number one,
yeah.
Huh? In answer to number one, my point to you was, if he does, and I'm sure he will, you on the left have absolutely no way to now play the high moral ground, because your guy, the president, did it even worse.
What is that? What is the high moral ground? We're down a Supreme Court pick. We lost the 2000 presidency to another Supreme Court. The president now has infinite criminal immunity. What is the moral high ground gotten the Democrats up to this point? There's no point in engaging in norms when only one side upholds the norms. And to sit here, you want to talk about a farce, to pretend that Donald Trump's future pardon decisions are going to be based on who Biden decides to pardon is hilariously stupid. And if you want to talk about pardons, something that you never will hear, why not talk about some of Trump's pardons? How much time do we give to the pardon of Bannon or Stone, who was pardoned for crimes that were literally related to covering up other crimes of Donald Trump?
Destiny?
How many people care about that? Nobody. Where's the accountability for that? Nowhere.
You know the difference?
What's the result of those investigations? They're all canceled. So
you know the difference?
No, I don't want to hear anything about Hunter Biden's pardon. It's a joke.
I think I might have figured it out. I think Destiny and Francesca, they're so smart, so educated, and have their credentials are so amazing to talk about these things. They might actually be retarded. I'm not sure how it works, but he's holding multiple different opinions at the same time. And for a college educated, very intelligent, smart man, I'm like kind of curious. How do you hold all those different positions at the same time and not be a hypocrite or a liar or dumb? Or maybe I think he should go to the doctor. I think maybe there should be a test, maybe. And we'll see. Let's see what else he says. Let's see what Francesca. I'm sorry. We're gonna do some R slurs today. These dudes, they're retarded. I think they might be retarded. They should do a test.
I want you to imagine that you're living on a city block.
Okay.
On this block, there's a red house, a green house, a blue house, and a white house.
Sure.
Red man lives in the red house, the green man lives in the green house, and the blue man lives in the blue house.
Okay.
Now, who lives in the white house?
The white man.
No, I'm sorry, the president lives in the White House. You're retarded.
American-Ukraine relationships is that it may well cover other crimes that may have been committed in relation to that, which might have led to the big guy, as people have reported, who might end up being Joe Biden. So in a way, he's providing a blanket immunity, which I know Destiny's very upset about immunity, to the Biden family here.
Yeah, look, I think Hunter Biden's pardon was much more than just Hunter Biden. Forget the corruption of Hunter Biden for a second. I think this was the pretext, and I'm going to make a prediction here, to a mass amount of pardons that are about to be coming down from this White House in the closing days of this administration, because they put together a list of people they believe have probably broken laws. They put it out there in the media over the last 24 hours, and they're justifying his brother and anybody that took money with the Biden last name, anybody that was corrupt at the FBI, anybody that was going after Donald Trump. The list, and they're trying to say that it's somehow Donald Trump's enemies list, so therefore we are justified in handing out pardons to everyone that was involved in the Biden crime family or abusing their power to go after Donald Trump.
So I know Destiny, I know Francesca would definitely fail the first retarded test. We'll see. There might be a couple more maybe we can administer to make sure that Destiny is in fact retarded. I'm pretty sure he is though. But like, what are these people going to say if and when Joe Biden begins to pardon people in his little inner circle that have not been charged with any crimes at all, and he gives them blanket immunities that go back to 2014? If he gives his brother a pardon that goes back to 2014 or any sort of time frame that's outside of like, I don't know, a pardon for his brother at all when he's not being charged with anything is really an indicator. Like, how are you going to defend that? If he pardons anyone else that went after Trump, and like, how can you hold the position that you basically have to say to yourself, okay, so you're doing these pardons because Donald Trump is going to create crimes that they didn't commit and apply them to these people just because they were staunch advocates against Donald Trump, and he's mad about that. So he's going to go after them and punish them, and he's going to make the DOJ fix crimes to them that aren't fair and they didn't commit. Well, if you're saying that, then you're saying that that's possible for that to happen, and the DOJ can do that, which is what we've been saying this entire time. You've been doing it to Donald Trump. So either that's true, or these people, these people committed crimes, and you're afraid that Donald Trump is going to now find those crimes and expose those crimes and put them in jail. So both sides of that, that's like two sides of the same coin. It's the same. It's both both ways you lose. Both ways you hold that stance are bad. It's just bad. I don't understand how you can. I don't know. I want to see it. I want to see now. This list of people is like Liz Cheney and all these people that were just against Trump and were for Biden Harris and for Harris Walls. I don't see Donald Trump going after those people. People like what Bill Maher recently said. He's thinking about quitting. He's shitting his pants. He said because Donald Trump might come after him, and said Donald Trump tweets about him every week or something. Bill Maher, no one gives a shit about you, dude. You just smoke weed in your basement and talk to celebrities that are washed up. No one gives a shit about you, dude. Fucking, it's weird. It's just weird. I don't know. I'd like to see I'd like to see all these people that are holding strong and saying, no, Trump's the bad guy. Biden's doing the right thing because Trump is bad. And also the DOJ can't be corrupt and go after Trump, but they did to go after Biden and Trump. How are they going if Biden starts doing blanket immunities for his friends and for his family? What will they say? That will be if you think this is bad, wait till that happens.
Oh man, I wish I could give you just the tiniest little violin so you could strum it there in your studio talking about the death of democracy. You know why Biden pardoned his son?
It was to troll you because
It was to troll everybody. And you know why he didn't? He said he wasn't going to, and then he did? Because he doesn't remember.
Either. He sold out America to the highest bidder.
Now, Francesca, she fails all the retard tests. I mean, she checks all the retard boxes. She checks them. So she comes out the box with a joke about Ben Ferguson making Christmas cards and matching pajamas that fell so flat. I didn't even put it in the video because it was so dumb and no one laughed. But it'll come. Watch how fat. So she's been grimacing, making these faces the entire time because she's a toddler. She is an actual toddler. Watch how fast this turns. She goes, Joe Biden did this. You know why Joe Biden did this? Because Joe Biden's playing 4D chess, you freaking idiots. What's wrong with you? Joe Biden's trolling you. He's so smart. He did this just to get the right all upset. He did all that. He's so smart. He did all that. And then Piers slashes her throat. And then she goes, well, it's a good thing that he's no longer president and he lost because we got to get rid of him. Ah!
What he did was he trolled his own side because you all queued up to defend him as being he was the good. Remember,
he's not going to be
in
president
all the
anymore.
debates we've had this year, he was the good guy. Trump was the liar. Trump was the hypocrite.
In whose
Trump was the shame.
I just diagnosed you retarded.
I'm not retarded.
Yes, you are.
Biden proved actually he's just as bad. He's exactly the same.
So what she's selling is that Joe Biden is playing 4D chess and he's trolling Republicans with doing this. So if she's selling that, if you won't buy that, then she'll sell you, well, she agrees with you. She's glad Joe Biden's out of here because of this decision. But then she has to maintain also that what Joe Biden is doing is better or not as bad as what Trump did with pardoning Stone and his father-in-law and other things like that. Destiny is about to freak out, and we're gonna put him through some retard tests as well. I feel like he's gonna fail. Just being honest, just being upfront. That jaw is swinging, that Adderall is buzzing. I believe he's going to fail the retard test. He's going to say something to the effect of, how is Hunter Biden relatable or comparable to Roger Stone, Steve Bannon, and his father-in-law? How are those related? How are those related at all? How are they comparable at all? Destiny, they're not. They're not. The Hunter Biden thing is way worse. It's way worse, dude. What are you talking about? I'll explain in a second. I've already explained them multiple times, but I'll do it real slow for you because I know highly educated people, they have a hard time understanding normal like things that are like rational, reasonable, logical, make sense, common sense type shit. So I'll do it real slow. What were you saying again? Huh?
And
wait,
he will,
how is
and
the
he will
Hunter Biden
weaponize.
pardon? How is that comparable?
And he
How is
will,
that comparable to Bannon or Stone?
Sorry, and the idea that he is using the idea of the justice system being weaponized against his family is laughable, given that
Thank
Biden
God he's not going to be
has helped
president,
direct
Piers.
the weaponization
Thank God
of
you've
the
got
justice
one
system
month left.
against Trump for a
Wait,
year.
you have no proof of that. What, do we just lie here? Is this just a show where we just tell lies?
Well, Joe
Where's
Biden
the part
lies?
where,
Yes,
where's the
haven't
part
you
where
been
Joe Biden directed the DOJ to do anything? Where is that?
Well, you think the entire weaponization of the American justice system against Trump in the last year, Biden had no involvement whatsoever?
Do you have proof of that?
I don't need proof of it. It's obvious.
I don't.
Okay, so hold on. So it's so obvious. Wait. So to be clear, it's so obvious that this DOJ is being politicized and used by Joe Biden, the same DOJ that went after his son.
That's why
The same DOJ that appointed a special prosecutor for when Biden had classified documents? What are we even talking? Do we even know how the government works in this country? What are we talking about right now?
I don't normally do this, but would you like to take another retarded test?
Yes, but should you really be calling it that?
Give me your hands.
What?
Did you know I can tell the future?
No.
Oh, yes. You can tell a lot about a person from their palm. For example, right here, I see your beautiful house in the future. Here's your wife tending the garden, tire swing out back, and right in the middle of your backyard is the swimming pool. I'm sorry, you're retarded. Only a retarded person will let me spit in their hands.
But spitting in people's hands is retarded. You're the retard.
No, you're retarded, and retard is a very unfortunate word for someone in your position.
Well, I'm not retarded. Wait. Is this one of those tests where if I believe you, then I'm retarded?
No, you're retarded. None of
Yep, he failed. Just like I thought. I figured he would fail that test. And you know what? It's even if he wouldn't fail that test, the hand test, me seeing the future and stuff, I'd probably, if I really wanted to, I would just pick him up and put him on the ground and pin him on the ground and do whatever I wanted to him anyway. So that's a weird thing to say out loud. But sorry, buddy. Better hope they'll all stay in place. Anyway, so a super highly educated, intelligent person, college educated, higher learning, enlightened human being like Destiny, he needs the proof. He asked Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan played that absolutely perfectly. It was fantastic. Yeah, the things are very obvious. Piers is like, yeah, this is very obvious that he had something to do with this. You have proof of that? I don't need proof. It's very obvious. Oh, what? It's like, yeah, dude, we don't need proof whenever something is so obvious. It's like, so then he's caught up on the DOJ's corrupt, the same DOJ that went after his son? Yes, dude, I've already explained this. Again, I'm going to explain it again real slow for people like Destiny and other people on the left that are pretending they don't understand anything. It is corrupt. They were going after Trump. It looked really, really bad. If you remember correctly, you won't. But if you remember, a lot of people were really talking about how bad this looked for the Democrats using lawfare like this and setting a precedent that is going to be very ugly to go down in history. This will look very poorly from history. History standpoint, this will look bad. So they started the lawfare. They didn't want Trump to go anywhere near the chambers of power ever again, and they smeared him. They threw so many felonies. They made up so many crimes, and the 34 felonies that people brag about, it's one crime that violated like 34 felony laws, and then the main law that was broken, they can't even that elevated it to a felony. No one can articulate what law was broken, what crime was committed to elevate it to a felony, which extended the statutes of limitations. So the whole thing, Alan Dershowitz is not a friend of Donald Trump's, and he said that Alvin Bragg should be disbarred or at least investigated by the Bar Association for that prosecution of Trump for those 34 felony cases. Do you understand that Donald Trump doesn't do his own taxes and does his own accounting? You understand someone like Donald Trump has 50 accountants on a retainer that are lawyers that deal with stuff. So even that case alone, writing down, if you think for a second, how disingenuous are you? This is the test. Tell me if you think Donald Trump committed an actual crime with those 34 felonies that Alvin Bragg hit him with. Now remember, this was the hush money trial, okay? This was because a lawyer and/or / accountant that works for Donald Trump paid off Stormy Daniels, and they wrote in a ledger in their documents that that was legal fees. And they trumped that up, no pun intended, to make it a felony, a crime they never had to specify, elevated it to a felony so they could go back in time, back to before he was even president, basically, and say, yeah, this was actually crimes and they're felonies. Do you think Donald Trump was sitting at a desk in his office filling out some Excel spreadsheet on the laptop about his accounting affairs and his where his legal fees are going? Do you think he handles that? Do you think Donald Trump clicked the button on the Excel spreadsheet and typed in the word legal fee instead of paying off hooker? You know, Donald Trump would have basically had to write paying off hooker on the thing instead of legal fees to make that like to satiate the Democrats. And that's just disingenuous. And I want you to tell me that those 34 felonies are something you care about and that he broke some sort of law. Because I'll call you a liar. I'll say you're a liar and you're full of shit. And you're not telling the truth or being genuine about your positions. You're really not, and I can't take you serious, and you will fail the retard test. I don't know what to tell you. Destiny needs proof that Joe Biden would send his own DOJ after his son. So what happened? So you're saying that they went after Trump the same as they went after Biden. Then the whole thing needs ripped out and replaced, right? No? No? Merrick Garland doesn't need? No? Okay. So if that's not the case, then it's not like that. Then you don't need proof that Joe Biden meddled with anything because the proof is Joe Biden's own DOJ went after his son. So that proves that they're not biased. I'm very, like, you got me going in circles. Now, this is where your intelligence and your higher learning really just, it overwhelms me, Destiny. I'm confused. Try to explain it to me. Try to make me understand, buddy. I'm confused. I don't understand what's going on. Could you explain to me what in tarnation you're talking about? You're talking about like 6 different things at the 6 contradicting opinions at the same time, friend. I'm just a little old tradesman. I don't understand nothing. Please explain it to me. Here, just real quick for you, Destiny, just to make you understand. You think it's not corrupt and Joe Biden didn't meddle with anything with the DOJ and he didn't direct them to do anything because of how they went after him. Oh my God, a special prosecutor was to deal with the, special prosecutor Her was to deal with Joe Biden's classified documents case. You know why that came? Why did that happen, Destiny? Was it because the DOJ was looking really, really bad with going after Trump for that stuff? They went after Trump for that stuff, and then the rumor mill swelled up and whistleblowers happened to talk about, documents that are at Joe Biden's place. And then you don't want to look biased and look super corrupt, so you go after yourself as well. Remind me again, what happened with that case? So Joe Biden, your evidence that Joe Biden didn't meddle with anything and the DOJ is independently operating and going after Biden also the same as they went after Trump. So they went after Biden the same as Trump, or did they go after Biden for the same crimes because they knew it looked really contradictory? It just looked like a contradiction, okay? The whole thing just looked really, really bad. Now, if they did that, what was the consequence Joe Biden got? Oh, because it seems like nothing came of that case. The last thing I remembered was I believe it was the Senate Republicans were telling Special Prosecutor Her that if you're going to basically give him a pardon with the same things that Trump is being charged with because he is not of sound mind and body, then we want to hear the transcript. Then we want to read the transcript. If your decision was that he is not fit to stand trial for those classified documents because he's an old, well-meaning elderly man with a failing memory and he cannot face trial for that, then we want to see the transcript of exactly the word for word what was said inside that deposition room. And Special Prosecutor Her said, no, I'm never going to allow you to I'm never going to allow you to read that. And then then that case just disappeared. I don't remember anything after that. Ever since that happened and Senate Republicans demanded to read the transcript from the deposition, that case just disappeared. Maybe something happened after that, but it definitely fell out of the news after that. I don't know anything that happened. So it's not corrupt because they investigated Joe Biden for the classified documents. And what happened? Absolutely nothing. It's not corrupt because Joe Biden let them go after his own son, Hunter Biden. And what happened? Nothing happened. They tried a plea deal that got blown up. Here's the articles. This is a timeline of everything that happened with that plea deal. Go look at this. The links are in the description as always. All my sources are going to be down in the description with links attached. This is an outline of everything that happened. That judge was like, this is insane. So they also had wording. She described it, I want to say, quote, I want to say her words were atypical and not straightforward is what she said the plea deal was. Those were her quotes about, those are her one-liners from that plea deal. It's because it specifically surrounded around language that talked about immunity for him concerning other crimes. Her biggest concern was, why does the plea deal for the tax crime and the gun crime have language in it for immunity? Immunity from what? And that's kind of where she was kind of digging, and she was recommending maybe them to be that legal team to be investigated for some misconduct with misrepresenting someone's identity. There's some weird stuff with that plea deal to go look into. But ultimately, what happened again? So Joe Biden, the DOJ is clean because Joe Biden let them investigate himself, and then the result was nothing. And then he let them investigate his own son, and ultimately they tried to plea deal and get him blanket immunity without it being a big deal. But the Republicans blew it up, and now he had no choice but to give him the blanket immunity right in your face in the 11th hour. And that, Destiny, is why I don't understand how you're so smart and you somehow have to muddy the waters and pretend like you don't understand this stuff. And you need Joe Biden. But Democrats basically need Joe Biden to write down, I stole money. I laundered money. Please put me in jail. You need that. Once he does that, then that's the proof we need. Guys, here's the proof. Joe Biden finally said he stole all that money and Hunter was laundering the money. We got it on tape. That's what you need, Destiny, huh? Because you're so enlightened and smart. That's why you went to college, right? Oh. Tell me more. Now, I've said it in every single one of these videos I've made that those investigations were launched because of all of the backlash from the Democrats, Joe Biden, and that DOJ launching widespread, ridiculous, fraudulent prosecutions against Donald Trump to try to keep him away from the White House. And because of that, you were pressured into looking bipartisan and looking like it was not corrupt. So you allowed yourself to be investigated and Hunter Biden to be investigated, where the consequences were nil. But, we're too dumb to know that. It's what we don't understand. We can't figure it out. We need him to write down all his crimes or it didn't never happen. Okay, Destiny, tell me more. Before we finish this up and let him tell us more, I keep forgetting to bring this up for these people, these ultra enlightened, intelligent people like Destiny that can't read between the lines, say that we don't have evidence, and evidence does mean Joe Biden writes down exactly what his crimes were, and there's a videotape of him doing it. These are the same people that are so dumb they can't figure out and read between the lines of the obvious things against their side. But if Donald Trump farts on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, all outlets will run exact language articles talking about how Donald Trump farted today because he hates black people. And that fart is actually a fart in the face of all African American black people in the world because he's a racist. Those people can tell you what a fart on a Sunday means from Trump. This means he doesn't like chocolate ice cream. They can figure all that stuff out, read between the lines. But, all this stuff, a blanket pardon immunity for Hunter going back to 2014 when he took a job at Burisma and Joe Biden did a quid pro quo on TV and got a prosecutor fired that was looking into a son. They can't figure that out. That's hard.
Follow my fingers with your eyes. Good. You're retarded.
That's impossible. It's impossible.
If you're retarded.
I'm not retarded.
Hang on. Francesca, why are you ducking my question? Just be honest.
I'm sorry, what are you saying? What's in my heart? My heart is he did it to
I said,
troll
did
all
your
y'all
heart
because
sink
now
when
you're
you heard he'd
triggered
done
as
it?
hell.
Because you knew in that moment all the high moral ground the left have had all year with Trump, it disappears.
Absolutely not.
Really?
And if you agree, no, that's my answer, Piers.
Even when he lied repeatedly that he wouldn't do it? Even when Karine Jean-Pierre repeatedly lied that he wouldn't do it?
No.
Even when
You're retarded.
You ask me a question, I say no, then you have a problem with my answer? Let me explain why no, instead of keep interrupting me.
Okay.
The reason is that Hunter Biden has never done anything to me, right? Meanwhile, Steve Bannon defrauded the American people.
Fundraising for Ben, is it PJs or is it holiday sweaters? You tell me. Paul
will happily
Manafort
send
lied.
you your fantasy card
Paul
that you
Paul
want after the
Manafort
show.
lied to
I'll
the
make sure we do
FBI.
that.
Paul Manafort lied to the FBI. Roger Stone also lied to the FBI about being a back
I'm talking
channel
about Joe
between,
Biden.
Between Piers Morgan, let me finish.
Answer my question, or I'll move
Roger
on.
Stone
She won't
was a
answer the
back
question,
channel.
Piers. She doesn't know how to.
Yo, can both
All
of
you can do
shut
is talk
the
about
hell
Roger
up
Stone
for
and
2
Bannon. I
seconds
don't
and let
care
me
about
finish?
them.
I swear to God, dude.
So I let the retarded person talk, and you see, she incriminated herself. She should have pled the fifth on that retarded test, I think, because she just got done saying, "You heard it. You heard what she said." This whole thing, I'm gonna have to button this one up, and then we'll get the fifth panelist that comes on. We'll do that in a part 2 video. I bet. I think that's what I'm gonna end up doing here. Is this going on too long? I forgot how dumb Francesca was in this. She said Joe Biden is playing 4D chess, and he did this to troll conservatives. But then at the same time, she's so happy he lost the election and he's not running again and isn't going to be president and only has a month or so left because she hates him so much, can't wait to get rid of him. And like the very next breath, I mean, the next sentence was, "Oh, thank God he's out of here. He's so smart. He's trolling all of you. Ha ha ha. Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. I'm glad he's gone." What? And then she's going to explain why the Hunter Biden pardon is different. It's because Hunter Biden never did anything to her, but Steve Bannon and Roger Stone defrauded the American people. So she feels defrauded by Steve Bannon and Roger Stone because they were back channels to what? She didn't get to finish what she said she was going to say. She never did, or I would show it. But something tells me she was going to say they defrauded the American people by being a back channel to Russia. So we're going back to Russia. She's going back to Russiagate. So Biden is so smart. He's playing 4D chess with you, but also I'm glad he's gone. That makes sense. And also Steve Bannon and Roger Stone is the different pardoning because they did something personally to her because they defrauded the American people when they were a back channel for Russiagate. Huh. That's like that's special. That's, one might say, retarded. Carry on.
What's really interesting about this this pardon is what Biden is saying in the pardon versus what Democrats who are supporting Biden and protecting Biden or making excuses for him are two entirely different things. Biden is saying that what Trump has said for years is true, that there is politicization inside the Justice Department. And that is a damning account because politicization of the Justice Department was completely a partisan issue. Democrats for 4 years said it wasn't happening. Republicans said it was happening. And here's the Democratic president saying, no, it happened, but it happened against my son. I think that the scope, I don't, listen, if he would have said, I love my son, it's my only surviving child from my first marriage, I honestly don't know many Americans who would disagree with him. I would feel sympathy for it, but that's not what he said. And the scope and the length into which he has given this pardon, 11 years for for everything, it is a full pardon for anything. It draws the question, what else was he doing? There was $24 million from foreign countries, including adversaries, through 20 shell companies. There's probably more. There was the issues of Hunter receiving millions of dollars in free legal services, in representation. There were probably appointments. And where does it end?
Look, I have no idea who this guy is, but I'm going to go ahead and just say I agree with him. I mean, if Biden came out and said, hey, look, guys, I'm coming to the end of my life. I have one son left. I lost my other son to cancer. And he did a lot of dumb stuff, and I don't know what all he did. So I'm going to pardon him for the last 11 years because he didn't tell me everything he was doing, and who knows what he was doing in those other countries, and I'm really worried about it. And I don't want people to come after him because of what I've done in my life as a politician. And he's my only son, man. I'm sorry. I have to pardon him. I have to do this to protect him. I thought we were going to win, and I wouldn't have to worry about this, but, it's just, I have to do it. I hope you understand. I would wholeheartedly understand that. I would go, yeah, okay. That's that. You know what? And that's why the Democrats will never do that, and they can never admit that that would have been a good idea because that's authentic. that's real, that's relatable, that's everything that it's the antithesis of everything that is the Democrat Party. Period. It would have been genuine. It would have made sense. I would have said, okay, yeah, I actually I'm not even. It's not even that big of a deal to me. It still does all the things that you think it does with unleashing Trump to pardon whatever he wants. It's just, the guy's right. That's just what we know about that 24 million through 20 shell companies. That's just what's like. That's just what we know about, dude. If you think that's all that was happening, I guess, I guess you're just naive and just you literally need Joe Biden to write down, we stole money. We bad. We do crime. It's like they have to write that down for Destiny to ever admit that Democrats did anything wrong. He's such a biased loser. Go ahead, tell me more, Destiny. I want to hear. He's about to tell you that if you're not a news person, that you can't even talk about this. He's confused why there's people talking about this that don't have credentials. You ready to hear about the credentials? Yeah, let's talk about it.
Okay, Destiny. Here's the problem. Not a problem.
I'm just curious. Because I don't know all the time. Do the people who cover politics, are these like actual news people? Like, what is the background here on this show?
What's your point?
When you have people talking about like the Democrats have never said.
Just go look at his laptop. He gave you all the info. Hunter's laptop tells you the story. You don't have to be a journalist to listen to anything.
Where are the charges? Where are the charges? Ben, where are the charges? They've been investigating Hunter Biden for 4 years. Where are the charges? I thought we were going to get impeachment charges from Jim Jordan. Where are the charges for Hunter Biden?
It's a great question. I can answer that because I actually read it.
The scope into which they looked into Hunter Biden was very narrow.
The DOJ made sure that the statute of limitations on the worst crimes that dealt with the tax issues were outside the statute of limitations. So if you go talk to a lawyer, they'll explain what that means to you. But the DOJ
I don't need to talk to the lawyer. I've read the documents. Thank you. I'm not illiterate.
You asked the question. You asked the question. You said, where are the journalists?
You just made things that sounded like FARA violations. You're telling me the FARA violations of him illegally accepting foreign money, of him taking bribes and having money go, that the statute of limitations is what, 2
Don't
years?
talk over each other, please.
I'm going to finish it again. He never registers a foreign agent, and the statute of limitations that ran out on that for what was going on. He never dealt with the tax issues and didn't have to because we know deliberately that they purposely slow played to make sure that the worst crimes were going, and the DOJ did this. The timeline is clear. They would expire, so they couldn't charge him with those crimes. The reality is the reason why the Biden administration is now having to go back and say who else needs a damn pardon is because there was people abusing their power to make sure that the only 2 crimes that they charged Hunter Biden with could not be connected to the big guy. The gun charge didn't connect the big guy to any actual crime. And that's a fact. And the tax charges where they did charge him dealt outside of any of the money coming in from the money laundering. So the Department of Justice ran interference and said, we'll make sure we investigate this. Oh, crap. The statute of limitations ran out. Even if we wanted to charge him, we couldn't charge him with the crimes. And that's why the White House is saying, holy crap, who the hell needs another pardon here? It's that simple.
Okay.
So you have to expect that from Destiny and these kind of people, because remember, if you're not like a biologist or like a human anatomy expert with a master's degree, you can't say what a woman is, and you're not allowed to say what a woman is. So Destiny thinks that if you're not a journalist, you can't look into what Hunter Biden. Again, it goes back to if you do your own research, you're an idiot. Only idiots do their own research. You have to listen to the journalists. You have to listen to the people in, a position of authority over you to understand what's going on. If you don't, then well, you're an idiot and everything you said was wrong. So don't worry about it, okay? What are the credentials of the people that come on your show? Who are these people, Piers? Who do you have on the show? Don't you know that Destiny has a master's degree in gender studies? So he knows exactly. He has a master's degree in synchronized lesbian dance theory, and he knows exactly how everything works because he has that master's. He's very smart. I don't know why everyone questions him. And he's definitely not addicted to Adderall or cocaine or anything like that. Those jaw movements are totally normal. Hey, that filter, what's that filter he has around his mouth? When he talks, do you notice that like around his mouth, there's like a weird filter that he uses? Maybe I could try to highlight it. He uses a weird filter around his mouth, and I wonder if he's using it to try to disguise that coke jaw he got. Because that coke jaw be swanging, boy. And is that filter trying to stop it? I just look real close around his mouth. It's only on his screen. It's not on anybody else's screen. So I think he's using a filter. It's the same filter that makes Francesca. It makes me forget how dumb Francesca is, and I think she's cute for a second. And then I remember she's the worst person alive. She clearly has some filters on too. But like Destiny's filters, like, does he have like an anti-coke jaw the filter on? Is that what that is? All right, let's finish this up. Let's see what else he can say. He's getting angry. He's getting real angry. So let's see what he says. That's wild though, man. If you're not a journalist, don't even look at that laptop. Don't look at nothing, because if you don't have a, a degree in journalism, you're not allowed to look in there. You can't. Remember when CNN said, "Look, we can't show you the classified documents. You're not allowed to see. We're allowed to see. We'll tell you what it says."
Hang on.
Answer this question then.
Hang on. Destiny, you say that the Biden administration has done nothing to meddle with the DOJ. He has literally pardoned his son, who's been convicted of criminal offenses. That is.
Why did you just say bingo? What do you think a pardon is? How is a pardon meddling in the DOJ?
You don't think it's meddling with justice?
Because the DOJ and the judge even said yesterday that this was the most despicable abuse of power. Go listen to what the judge said, who's not a conservative judge, who wrote a scathing rebuke of the Biden administration's abuse of power after there had been a conviction for his son. Go read what the judge wrote, and you might understand.
I'm sorry.
Wow,
Do you think that when does a pardon happen if not after a conviction? What do you think a pardon is for? Is every single pardon?
That wasn't my point. My point.
Did you catch it? Do you know what's coming? Did ultra enlightened, intelligent, super sleuth Destiny, super awesome, super smart Destiny, did he just walk into it? Do you know what he just walked into? Did you hear his ridiculous take on what a pardon is and when a pardon is given? Did you just hear what he just said? In relation to this specific pardon, what he just walked into.
Piers, please, let me say this. If this is the part where you need to listen to what you're saying. No, listen to what you're saying. You just said that you only give a pardon when someone's been convicted. If that was true, they wouldn't have just given a 10-year absolute pardon to Hunter Biden for a bunch of crimes he committed in case he is actually investigated for the damn crime.
The whole point of issuing that pardon is to make it so that you guys can't spend the next 4 years playing Hillary's emails with Hunter Biden. That's the whole point. Because that's what you guys do. Like you tried with Hillary, like you tried with Benghazi and failed over and over and over again with all these bullshit investigations. You do like you've done now with Hunter Biden, like you did with Ken Starr and Bill Clinton.
Hang on. Destiny, to be clear, Destiny,
you're gonna bring in Destiny charges to Joe Biden, and it has nothing. But here you are, still speaking
calm down.
The same lies about the Biden crime family.
Destiny, hang on, please. Can I get involved here? Destiny, a question for you, which is Gavin Newsom, who was one of the most vocal supporters of Biden, even when everyone else was chucking him under a bus. Even he has come out and said he cannot support this decision. Do you actually support what Biden has done? Do you support
Absolutely, 100%.
Wow. So actually, in the end, you do support lying, hypocrisy, and shamelessness, and obstructing justice. You support all those things.
No. What the pardon of Hunter Biden is a trillionth of what Donald Trump. It's not even close.
And if Trump had done this, to Donald Trump Jr., you'd have said the complete opposite. Anyway, look, let me segue to
in Donald Trump's administration. After the traitors, over here that support Donald Trump tried to overthrow the government in 2020. After they tried to overthrow the government and failed, people like Eastman and Giuliani were asking to be put on the pardon list.
All right.
Okay.
They were
involved in the J6 attack. And guess what? When he does, Piers, you're going to have a 20-minute segment on it, and you're going to move on to see if you can dig up something else about Biden's or Kamala Harris.
No, I will
I just
go
think
after.
it's sad because you guys are all just jealous that he's massively endowed, and so it's his
Sorry,
dad.
hang on.
Anybody else.
Francesca, sorry, what was that?
I was just saying, I mean, the only crime, I guess, in Ben's eyes that Hunter Biden really committed was showing just how well endowed the Biden family is. And I can see from Ben's perspective how that, might feel like, a crime against him and his
defending
manhood.
a man that abused.
If Francesca doesn't go back in the kitchen and make me a sandwich, I swear to God, what is she talking about? Why is she always daydreaming? What is she like? They always cut back to her, and she's always like, "Yeah, you guys are like, here's a bad joke about a pager. It's like, what the fuck were you? What were you just doing this entire segment? Or were you listening to what anyone was saying? What are you talking about? Wow, go make me a sandwich. Anyway, Destiny, bro, this dude is the king of thinking he's making a point, screaming, talking shit. And then as soon as he walks into it and steps in shit, and everyone's like, hey, there's shit on your shoe. That dude changes topics so fast, bro. He just said, what are you, stupid, Ben? Here's another stupid take from Ben. Ben's so dumb. When does the party happen? Meanwhile, he just gave him an 11-year blanket pardon for crimes we don't even know about. And it's and then that was his defense. That's just so we don't investigate him and make him go and explain himself. There can't be consequences. He shouldn't have to explain himself. Plus, don't you know, Donald Trump's done a million times things worse than the Biden crime family. Trump's done way worse things than the Biden crime family. Like what? Like what? You got nothing. You got nothing. Let me guess. A bunch of things you're gonna tell me actually reality is this way, but you're gonna explain to me how it actually means this, and he actually committed these crimes, and is that what it's gonna be? Because you're real smart at figuring out what Trump's intent is, but when it comes to Joe Biden and his crackhead son, all of a sudden you don't know what anyone's intent is. You don't know what they were trying to do. Who knows what anything is? Who knows if up is down and if down is up? Who knows what color the sky is? I don't know. Maybe it's something else. Maybe the Democrats are good. Who knows? What do you know? You don't know nothing. Are you a fucking sky expert? No.
Look, here's the difference between the pardons between Trump and Joe Biden, right? Number one, Joe does this to troll y'all, and so you have something to talk about. But number two, the people that Donald Trump pardoned not only included everyone who allowed and helped him to back channel with the Russian government in the 2016 campaign, like
Piers,
Paul
come on.
Manafort,
This
like
is the
Roger
biggest-
Stone.
We're back to
Ben,
Russia
shut the hell
collusion.
up.
They didn't even
Ben,
get in trouble
shut the
Are
for
we
hell up.
really
backchanneling
back to
anything with
Russia collusion? One
Like,
of the
there was
great.
nothing
because
with
it
Russia
yeah,
with them.
it
You're
actually
We're back to
pulling
Russia
out
collusion,
timelines,
which
man.
was
also
one of the
pardoned
great lies
Jared Kushner's
of
father,
that whole
Charles
period.
Kushner. Charles Kushner is now going to be the ambassador
We're
to
going full
France. He also
conspiracy
pardoned.
theory now.
He also pardoned the Blackwater
This is why we won,
employees
Piers.
who murdered 14 unarmed Iraqi civilians that we know about thanks to Chelsea Manning whistleblowing, right, and to WikiLeaks. He pardoned those monsters. He's pardoned a lot of people, and so those people, arguably,
Piers,
have
did
had
Donald
more impact
Trump
on my
ever
life
pardon his own
than Hunter
kids?
Biden and his laptop and $1.4 million in tax evasion. Piers, you know you do that like on a Tuesday. Come on. Wait, hang on. Guys, oh, my beeper's going off. Jerdusky's a bitch. Oh. Jerdusky, I think this is for you.
Is
I'll
this
call
like
him
a
back.
comic? This is giving me a very bad reputation of female comics who people already don't think are funny. I don't know. I think the problem right now.
Except I just own your ass. But you look really cute in your sweater.
You made a very lame joke that was like 3 weeks old. Congratulations. You're very funny.
Dude, did I miss the part where Destiny was talking about how the Democrats are only doing this because they're tired of upholding decorum and norms? I think I missed it, didn't I? Was that earlier? I don't know, man. This is too dumb for me to remember everything. Francesca is so dumb. What is it? Is that a filter or something? I don't know. Whenever I mute her mouth and the sound isn't coming out of her mouth, when there's no sound coming from her, there's this video. I don't know. She's been looking attractive in this video. I think there's some sort of filter going on. I think maybe I've been making this video too long. I think I'm getting a little delirious. Okay, let's finish this. I think I missed the part, or it was earlier where Destiny said, or maybe it was another video. I don't even know. But they said the only reason they're doing this is because they're tired of holding up the norms of society and decorum. Yeah, I think it was earlier, and I forgot to talk about it. It's wild. The Democrats are lecturing us still now, saying that they're only doing this because we do it or something. What are they talking about? It's just, dude. And Francesca, she can't stay on topic for even one single segment before she trails off into jokes about dicks. And she's joking about Hunter Biden and Joe Biden's penis half this episode, talking about pagers or telling people they're shit or whatever. I don't even know what's going on anymore. He's about to introduce a fifth panel member. Okay. He's about to introduce I forget her name, but she's always lobbying and donating or whatever. She's a major Democrat player for sure. I've seen her tons of times. I forget her name, but she's going to come on and actually tell the truth because she's pissed. She's pissed because she spends millions of dollars for the Democrats, and she works really hard to get them elected. And when they do dumb shit, it makes her job 10 times harder. And so she comes on and tells the truth, and then her and Francesca argue for like a half an hour straight. I'm gonna have to make a part 2 or part 3 of this, maybe. I need to button this up, but this is so dumb. But then at the same time, he's gonna talk about credentials and like people's professions and what they're allowed to talk about, what they should talk about, what they can't talk about because of who they are and what it's just like. And then their takes are so dumb. It's just, dude, I'm weaving my basket. I set my basket down and look up and tell you who to vote for. That's all I do. And I'm listening to these guys that get paid tons of money to do this. And I know I'm just on here riffing. You know, if I actually made a script for myself and stuck to it and like created a schedule and like planned a video, it would be very concise. It would be very articulate. I would be able to really trim down a lot of the yapping. But I'm a yapper. That's what I do. So it is what it is. Let's see if they say anything else here right at the end before the Asian Democrat comes on and absolutely destroys them and starts fighting with Francesca, and I'll button it up.
Will the two MAGA people here, will you guys defend when Donald Trump pardons the January 6th rioters or anybody that was convicted in connection to the January 6th stuff? If he goes for the seditious conspiracy people, will you defend that pardon?
Ryan?
I've said this before. I'll say it again.
Well, let me bring Ryan in. Hang on. Let me bring Ryan in on that one.
I think with the January 6th, you're talking about several hundred, if not several thousand people. And I think the question is I don't think that he should pardon anyone who did something violent. I don't think that an attack, but I do think that when you look at the sentencing and how some January 6th people have been treated is remarkable, considering some people have solitary confinement for months on end. People are treated much worse doing a January 6th stuff than a murderer. So I do think that depending on what they are accused of and what they have been tried on, I think a pardon could be warranted. I don't think that anyone who violently attacks somebody should be pardoned, though.
So if they go to pardon the people convicted of seditious conspiracy that weren't involved in direct violent activity, you would support those pardons?
I'd have to see the individual case. I don't really know. Particularly, it's not my beat.
You don't know about
stuff.
seditious conspiracy charges. Some of the first in decades. It's unbelievable.
I just said I'd have to look. I just said I'd have to look at them individually.
On the Hunter Biden pardon, and they don't even know.
What a great idea.
I don't know who was convicted.
Read about the
in regards to
individual
trying to coup the
cases
government. I have no idea.
Before you decide.
I'll tell you what. Let Ben answer Destiny's question.
I'm going to say this for the last time for the people in the back. The most armed demographic in the country, by far, the most armed demographic in the entire country, possibly the entire world. I know the world. A demographic that is better armed than, I would probably say, half of the countries in the world, at least. A demographic that is better armed than countries all around the world. Their military. Countries that have militaries. The demographic is better armed than militaries in other countries. Came to the Capitol with 0 weapons. We were not trying to overthrow the government, you absolute chode. Dude, what is wrong with you? The most armed demographic to ever exist in history, basically, came to the Capitol to overthrow an armed, militarized government with 0 weapons. Dude, stop saying that. You sound fucking retarded. Oh, we're going back to retard test. Back to the retard test. That's it. You know,
You're
and then
retarded.
also Destiny likes to pretend that looking at each case individually with nuance for each individual case is a bad thing. He thinks he just won the debate. Like, you see him, you see how exacerbated he is? He thinks he just won the debate. He's flailing because nothing he says makes sense. Then he's flailing around now, and he's claiming he won the moral high ground. He won, like, he says later that these guys are morally bankrupt for looking at each case individually. You don't know about seditious conspiracy? You don't know about seditious conspiracy? You don't know about seditious conspiracy? You don't know about it? You don't know about my jaw swinging around because I'm addicted to Adderall? You don't know nothing about that? Allegedly? You don't know nothing about that? I don't know. It's kind of strange that, you know, I don't know. It's just kind of weird how someone that's addicted to Adderall, allegedly, is having a hard time understanding, you know, a drug addict going back. You know, it's just weird. I don't get. Again, so seditious conspiracy on some guys, the most armed demographic in the world, again, going into the Capitol and going to the militarized White House to overthrow a government unarmed that had doors open. And in some cases, the cops are on camera waving the people in, and a bunch of ass scratching idiots walked in there and got trapped on a psyop, basically, is what happened. Okay. So they all walk in there. Most of them are going through velvet ropes and staying proper. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're on camera hitting a cop, attacking, being violent, breaking stuff, then yeah, you need to serve whatever sentence is appropriate for that. And you know, if you're hitting a cop or attacking a police officer or riot control in any way, shape, or form in a big event like this, unless you have on camera that cop running up to you in your face and saying, "Hey, catch this, you freaking loser," and pepper sprays you in the face for no reason while you're standing there picking your nose, and then you attack him and beat the shit out of him, that better be on camera, and then I'll defend you. But you need to not attack a police officer or riot, you know, event police staff, things like that. If you did that, then you need to serve a sentence that's appropriate for assault. You know, you don't need to be in jail for 10 years because it was a police officer. It's just silly. Let's end this shit and be done with it. The lawfare is ridiculous. But in the end, seditious conspiracy, these were some ass scratching idiots that got caught up in a psyop, went inside. So because they wandered into Nancy Pelosi's office, standing there with their hand down their pants, scratching their balls, unarmed, not doing anything, and they're charged with seditious conspiracy. You want Destiny thinks that you lost the moral high ground and you're morally bankrupt if you think those people should have go to jail forever. They're traitors to the country. They're standing in the White House. They're standing in the Capitol. I'm sorry. They're standing in the Capitol. They are. Dude, my brain hurts. I think it's time to end the video. You're armed people left all their guns at home, went to the Capitol unarmed, walked into a building they were waved into, and if they wandered into the wrong place or they misbehaving a little bit, you know, being a little cheeky, went in the wrong area, broke a little door or something, went in a little place, scratching their balls, standing there looking at, you know, some art or something, some crazy document encased in something in some place that was, you know, not, you weren't supposed to go in there, and you arrest them, and now that person's being charged with seditious conspiracy, and you want me to be mad at them and think they should go to jail for a long time. And you're calling me, he's about to call these people losers and cowards and everything for not being mad about January 6th protesters, rioters, I'm sorry. You know, that January 6th was less egregious than most sports riots when the team wins. And I've already done that in another video. I'm not going to do it again. Most sports riots, when people are celebrating, and it's just not in America, it's not on the East Coast, it's not on the West Coast, it's in France when they win the World Cup, it's everywhere. Riots for sports events are more violent and more chaotic and more insane than what happened on January 6th, period. Full stop. Let's end it.
Yeah, I'll go back to this. If you look at each and every case and you look at how they were throwing the book at everybody, there are different people that did different things. If you attacked a police officer, you deserve to be in jail for that. If you're an 87-year-old grandmother that was walking around outside the Capitol and they hunted him down and put him in jail and they didn't do anything violent, you do not deserve to be in jail for that, even if you're charged with the word seditious in any of the complaints. There are different cases and different people, and there was clear abuse of power where they walked in, they said, anyone that we got that day or anyone we have on video, even if they were nonviolent, even if they weren't doing anything, even if police officers let them into the Capitol on video, they overcharged them, and there are many people that deserve to be pardoned. If you attacked a police officer, if you broke through a door, if you were doing things like that, you absolutely deserve to be in jail for that. And it goes back to an idea. You look at each case individually and you decide based on each case individually before you do a pardon. That's what I'm in favor of. It's not insane to say I would want to look at each case to see what they actually did compared to what the government lied and said they did. There's a big difference.
Okay, hang on.
There is one more test.
Great, I'll take it.
Okay. I need you to spell the word pig backwards and then say a whole bunch of different funny colors.
What, like GIP? I'm not gonna do that.
Say a bunch of different funny colors.
Shut up.
Excuse me, sir. If you want to take this retarded test, you need to spell the word pig backwards and say
so like GIP, orange, blue, red, yellow. Okay, is that good? Am I retarded now? Am I retarded?
Yes. You're very retarded.
What is what is Destiny shaking his head about? What's he talking about? What the mega guys are saying, is it not super reasonable what these guys are saying? I mean, comment below if you really think what they're saying is ridiculous. If you're probably still not here. I mean, we're out like an hour and 5 minutes in at this point, but so nobody's here except for my family and people that know me and like to listen to me run my mouth. So if you happen to still be that perfect gem, that's just a wonderful, perfect human being, and you're still here, um, I'll make this deal with you. You bring me the January 6th rioter, insurrectionist that had blueprints to the White House and blueprints to the Capitol building and blueprint. he had he had a list in his pocket of the 5-step plan to overthrow the government. Considering that's the level of evidence you need for Destiny to believe that Joe Biden and Hunter Biden were up to no good back from 2014 and on. That's he needs. You need to bring me the guy that got the blueprints. Step 1, get Nancy Pelosi's laptop. Step 2, steal the podium from in the weird chamber room. Step 3, kill snipers on roof. Step 4, capture Mike Pence. Step 5, change the electoral votes to install Trump. And he has blueprints. Bring me those people, and I will condemn them with you. Bring them to me, and I will say, "Damn, that's seditious conspiracy. Holy shit, that is wow. They did that. You did that. This is That's impressive. I lose. You win. These guys go to jail. They're traitors to the country. I don't agree with that. Bring them to me, Destiny. Bring them to me. Weird people are gonna get mad about the title of this video, and especially with Destiny's name in it. So you're gonna get mad, and that's okay. So you might still be here. If you are, bring me those people. That's the deal, and I'll condemn them with you. But whenever you show me grandmas and you show me Uncle Ball Scratchers that were standing around in a room unarmed, and you're like, seditious conspiracy, traitor to the country, 40-year sentence, solitary confinement. If you consider taking those people, how dare you consider? Destiny was shaking his head. Ben said each case is different. We need to look at each case and see exactly what they did, not just what the government said about them. He's shaking his head like, what? What? Why would you do that? What? You're going to look at the facts and the reality of what happened and not just hear the words seditious conspiracy and get mad and put them in jail for 500 years and burn their kids alive? What is wrong with you? How dare you consider the facts and consider each thing individually? That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And I condemn you for it. And you're a coward and a piece of shit. I win the debate. Signed, Destiny. Destiny Adderall jaw dropping Jones.
Where are the Democrats, Lindy? I mean, after the Joe Biden pardon, this is probably the last thing Democrats would have wanted on God's earth.
I'm going to have to agree with you. This is 11 years. The pardon covered 11 years. It was sprawling. And I think, the next one we should watch for is possibly him pardoning James Biden. Because 11 years not only covered, his presidency, but also his VP time and also Hunter's time during Burisma. And it's just so incredibly ironic. And I'm speaking as a Democrat, that even Democrats and members of the intelligence community said that laptop was just a made-up story. Now, in one fell swoop, Biden basically proved his haters right, that there was something in that laptop. And I hate to say it, but it's just true. This is just a black eye to his legacy.
By the way, on the laptop, let's not forget the New York Post.
You're very retarded.
Like, it's just, I don't get it. I don't know. What's he making that face about? Like, I don't get it. Did she say something strange? Is this? Please make your defense in the comments of how this is not a stain on his legacy. On how, look, if he pardoned him for those crimes, that's it. That 11-year blanket immunity is so ugly. That 2014 year was such a year of conspiracy and on with that family. The VP, the quid pro quo on TV that he admits to, that Joe Biden admits to. It's just the whole dude. Oh, I don't get how I guess Miss Lee did not get the marching orders for what she's supposed to be saying, because she goes on to talk about how mad she is about how, because she's a big fundraiser for the Democrats and for Joe Biden. And I think, I think she goes on to express some anger about the staff payment at over $500 million going to staff and $2.5 million going to Oprah. Why does Oprah need? Oprah has already benefited from the machine. If anything, Oprah should be paying them. She should be donating to them. And instead you give her $2.5 million to conduct that interview or whatever. Is that even what it was for? Or just for her endorsement or whatever? She's worth $1 billion. Why did you need to pay her $2.5 million? She's already made out from the system. She's in the system. You think Oprah doesn't get a phone call when some insider trading stuff goes down? What are we talking about, dude? We have to pretend. That's what this is. This is pretend land where a bunch of intellectuals play naive. They're disingenuous, and they play like they're the smartest people in the world, asking for credentials to even talk about the stuff, to be able to look at the laptop. And you're just an idiot and don't do your own research, and you're dumb. Make your basket, stock your shelf. It's pathetic. You're dumb. They're smart. But they have to play dumb with everything and then act like we're stupid and we got it wrong. But conspiracy theories always come out to be true. It's all good. You say you do what you got to do. You do that Adderall. You shake that. You drop that jaw. You do your thing, homie. I'm gonna end this here because this is way too long. It was too juicy. I had to keep going. These Piers Morgan episodes I love them, dude. They're really entertaining. I really enjoy them. And I really like spirited debate. I like to argue with people. I'll argue with you about nothing. I'm a straight troll. It doesn't matter. But I may do like a part 2 or 3 and do this may break into multiple parts, but I made Francesca and Miss Lee are about to argue, screeching just nonstop for a long time. It's rough to listen to, so I might do it, I might not, but it was a pretty good argument. I did enjoy it because Miss Lee did not get the marching orders, and these two, Destiny and Francesca, attack her immediately. You can already see it. They immediately go into offense. They start saying she's bought and paid for. Francesca's like, "Oh, you're bought and paid for," and Miss Lee's like, "Name one person that's paid me off. Name one person or entity that's paid." She's like, "I don't know, dude. I don't know you, man," and starts playing that edgy, dumb, like teenager type thing she does. Ridiculous. So she couldn't name anyone immediately when she's put on the spot. Miss Lee was destroying her. So I may end up covering it, but either way, these people are so dumb. They failed every retard test I threw at them. They failed, and that's just the truth of it. And I need you guys to do the things, press the buttons. I appreciate it. I'll be back tomorrow or whatever with another one. We'll see. I got to make some small ones. All right.
You're retarded.
That's impossible.